What's going on, fish folk? Those of y'all new to my channel here, my name's Austin, and this is Fintastic Freaks, and this surrounding me here is the Fishroom. So a hot minute ago, I talked about showing off the last bits of what we came back from the Quad City fish swap there, but at this point, it's been well over a month since we've done that. Well, I still plan to go over that. In this video, we're going to go briefly over that, as well as some plans that are beginning to unfold here as well. That, and of course, the main thing that a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about since the last video, about a month ago at this point, is what is in our other 75 back there. But before I get to that 75 over there, little quick update of some things that are going on over here. Once you'll notice there's a little vacancy over here where our 38-gallon tank once stood. We'll show you what happened or what's going down with that later. But of course, as a lot of y'all know, in that 75 over there, initially the plan was to move our Amazon puffers over there. And well, these guys still got an upgrade out of their previous 38-gallon tank, but instead of a 75, they got moved to this 55 here, which has been serving okay for now. As you can see, still haven't got that gravel out of the way here quite yet. I'm actually, once I'm done recording this video, gonna start working on that now, so probably by the time I publish this video, it may already be changed out with sand or something, or at least put a lot of the gravel out with sand. One of the two, we'll see. Well, you'll see in the upcoming video here, of course. As I said, these guys were initially going to go on that 75 over there, but upgraded to the 55 instead here, because at the Quad City Fish Swap, I found something else that I wanted to put back there. And while we talked a little bit about it in the last video, we never exactly showed you what was in there. Of course, the 75 down below is already housing our Exodon Tetras, which it looks like their tank needs to be topped off a little bit here first, but they are still swimming around doing well. I've added a couple of wood pieces in there too, which seems to be mellowing down their aggression a little bit. They were getting a little antsy with all the extra space there, which is weird. You'd think maybe with more space they'd get along a little bit better, but alas, more open space, not as many ways to break the line of sight. Might probably still get some more wood in there to do that even more so here yet. So I told y'all before that there have been some puffers that have been on my wish list for a while that I've wanted to give another chance. And there's a few of them that top that list by far, but none of them top the list more than the one that we now have in this 75 here. And I'm pretty excited to show you, so you know what, without further ado, let's just get to it. Some of y'all might have already had the surprise spoiled already if you saw my YouTube short, but as you can see, we got some more puffers in here and some familiar ones that I had actually about a couple years ago. Guys, we have 1, 2, 3, and somewhere else in there because I can't find them, 4 spotted Congo Puffers inside this 75-gallon tank here. Seriously though, where is the 4th guy? Ah, there he is. He was hiding behind the grass there initially. They sometimes like to hang out on the top platform of that sponge filter there. They must think that's a cushy thing for them. Maybe that's their form of a Tempur-Pedic mattress or something. I don't know. Yes, 4 spotted Congo Puffers in here. Ever since the misfortune I had with my previous 2, you'll remember they actually used to live in that one of those 40-gallon breeders over there, which obviously are now both occupied with other fish. I also said that after those 2 and all that went down with them, to those of you that don't know, maybe we'll touch on that here in a minute, said I was going to do a lot of things different. Said I was, going to get more spotted Congo this time. It just seems like people have more success when you keep more of them in a group here. Kind of helps mellow out the aggression. And 2 was definitely going to get a bigger tank. And fortunately, well, here we are. I had a bigger tank. The opportunity presented itself at the Quad City Fish Swap, which I still have that live stream on there too, if you want to check that out and kind of get a little behind the scenes of how we got a hold of these guys and how it came to be. Look at this is another reason why I just love this puffer. Just look at the coloration, the spots, the yellows. They are loving life inside this tank here. And I'm still thinking that, yeah, the aquascape here, this is kind of a temporary scape here. I want to get rid of more of the fake plants here, but as you can all see, I got some more fresh wood in here that I'm also trying to get cycled in here. Some of it still wants to float here too, but trying to get some of the more wood in here and such. They like to weave through that and all that, and I think it kind of looks pretty cool, so thinking I might go ahead and add to that bit of the aquascape. Might even put some rocks in here with the wood later on here and try to add some more plants and such. I was attempting to put some crypts in here You can see some little stumps of some other ones in here, as well as some leaves floating out on top of here. Something puffers occasionally like to do is bite through the leaves. I guess some people say, or studies show, that it's aesthetically pleasing to them to just feel the bite through and such. I don't know how much truth is to that, but apparently they don't mind mowing down my plants, so I'm not sure if we're gonna try trips here again. Might have to try something else. They seem to be leaving our Java ferns here alone, though, fortunately. In the end, what I'm kind of thinking for an aquascape would be cool, as I mentioned earlier, some more woods and such, kind of like branch-like and such, that I can, that kind of follows the theme that we already have here. That'll look a little bit more like this stuff here, too, once it sinks down. The woods still look pretty good here, and like I said, these guys love it. They've been weaving through it. Hence why I'm thinking even over here, we'll eventually get the grass out of here, get some wooden rocks over there, and yeah, maybe just load this thing up with some more Java ferns, because again, it seems like they're leaving those alone, unlike our crypts down there. Maybe some Anubias plants as well, some mosses as well. Would still like to try to figure out some sort of background plant there, just maybe at least a couple of them back there to kind of give a little backdrop look there. And this is also why I kind of like the woodscape. They kind of like to just find parts of the wood there where they can also make it like a little cove or a cave for them and chill there. Of course, now as I say that, this guy is slowly making his way out to join the other two here. But weaving through, they also like to find little nooks and places where they can hide and such in there. Otherwise, what you see with these two is kind of like what they do otherwise. They swim towards the front of the glass, very curious about what I'm doing, like a lot of other puffers are, which is miles better than what these guys were doing when we first got them. At first, they wanted nothing to do. They just pretty much all hid behind that or by the sponge filter. They were not very social at first, but their color has gotten so much better. Their attitudes have gotten much better, as has their appetites. I've been feeding them frozen bloodworms, frozen krill. I have some ghost shrimp in there that they can also hunt, as well as some Malaysian trumpet snails and other pest snails that they gladly accept. I'm thinking down the road, maybe we'll go ahead and do updated species spotlight on these spotted Congo puffers here as they continue to settle more and more in, and as I continue to finalize the aquascape of their tank here, which like I said, kind of got a good plan on that. If you also got suggestions though, feel free to give suggestions for these guys here in the comments below. Would love to hear your insight here from other fellow aquarists. But while we do have the spotted Congos here, that's not all we came home with. Seeing one of the last tidbits of what we came from the Quad City swap here real quick. We're looking in our 240-gallon tank here. Well, first and foremost, moved a couple of the angelfish that were in our 40 breeder over there, which you'll remember we got those angelfish back from the Catfish Cataclysm in Wisconsin a little bit ago. We got one of our black marbles in here. I mean, just look at that beauty. Look at how he's doing. It's a it's a big difference, that extra 200 gallons compared to that 40 breeder. Hey, there you go. Yeah, strut your stuff, buddy. There's the other koi over there. We put one of the kois over here as well. He seems to be living life. But also from the Quad City swap, we got one of these guys. Somebody was trying to get rid of, well, not get rid of, but rehome one of their platinum angels. And you know, of all the angelfish, platinums are what I am most a sucker for. And you can see why. Just the sheen on him, the coloration, the little hints of blue in the fins if you look closely. With all that white, it is a truly, truly beautiful fish. And then if we come all the way past here, past this little plug here too, I actually got a little bit of clutter up here where there's a little spring cleaning going on in the fish room as I record this. But down here, we have a gold angelfish that also was rehomed from a friend here that lives over on the other side of the river in Omaha. Initially, this guy lived in a 60-gallon breeder here, and well, if you know the footprint of a 60-gallon breeder, yeah, angelfish can work in there for quite a while, but these fish also can grow quite the height in terms of tallness. And long story short, inside this 240-gallon tank with everybody else, he fits right in, especially with a tank that's a little over 2.5 feet tall, 31 inches to be precise. I am still planning later on to move our 5 silver dollars out of this 240 here and over to our 185-gallon bow front here, which we'll go ahead and take a look at here next. We finally got some substrate in this. It's not a huge step, but alas, it is a step. Nonetheless here, don't have any water in this thing just yet, because as you'll know, I do plan on moving this big beastie of a tank more around this general facility over here, kind of where the 55 and the 50 corner here stand. As I said earlier though, not just the 5 silver dollars going in here. We also got our Oscars. They're gonna call that tank home, and I'm willing to bet you the reason why I don't see them right now is because they're probably behind that sponge filter right there. Sure enough, right there is our Bumblebee Oscar Yin. Further in the background, kind of by our rocks and the little tree there, you can see our white albino red Oscar Yang over there. The Bumblebee Oscar, albino red Oscar have gotten along very well, but they are really starting to put on some size to where, yeah, this 50-gallon corner isn't gonna work too much longer. We probably got about another month and a half max here. That's probably pushing it before, yeah, we're probably got to start getting them over here to the 185 bow front, which is why I'm thinking probably next month, here in the month of March or early mid-April, probably going to be the point where hopefully we'll have this thing all set up and running and full of Oscars. Well, 2 Oscars, I guess, and our 5 silver dollars, and still thinking I might go ahead and get something else in there as well. But how the heck are we going to get this big 6-foot-long 185 bow front tank over here where our 50-gallon corner and 55 currently stand if they're still sitting over there? Well, before we talk about the 50 corner and the 55's plan, let me tell you why you don't see the 38-gallon tank over here anymore. The reason you don't see the 38-gallon tank here anymore is because now it's over there. So from by the 55 now, on next to the side of the 240, which still slightly towers over this thing by about another good 8-9 inches, just kind of shows a retrospective just how huge that 240 is. Points aside here, the 38 now alongside of that here. Initially never wanted to put anything right by the entrance here, because as you can see, that's the stairway to go right up. So a little bit of sunlight gets in here, not enough to where I think we're gonna have an algae problem in here, but I guess we'll see. If there is, well, then we might have to come up with a different plan. The good thing is though, the goldfish, well, most of them have taken the move well. All our shabunkins are still in there. Unfortunately, a couple of the little fantails got sick soon after the move here, and unfortunately did not pull through. Hence, we are 2 fewer than what we saw here about a month ago. But everyone else in here seems to be doing perfectly fine. Their color seems good. Hopefully that'll continue. And it's one tank over there that where that 185 that we talked about is moved out of the way here. Still thinking these guys, as they get bigger, obviously they're still going to need a bigger tank. And when that happens, am I going to keep this 38 running right where it is? Maybe, maybe not. Not sure about that yet. To be determined later. With that said, what is the plan for our 50 corner and the 55 there then? So talking about the 55 gallon first, that tank is going to get moved out of the way, and we're going to move it over here to this corner over here, which, yeah, we got a little clutter to get out of the way here. We're also using a fan trying to dry up this area a little bit. Had a little bit of a stressful moment here earlier this morning before I even started recording. Little water was on the floor, and if you're a fish keeper like me with multiple aquariums, especially when it's right next to 1, 2, 3 aquariums here, oh no, there are not many more stress-inducing things than seeing water on the floor of your fish room. It's makes you scramble all around, checking all the tanks, making sure there's no leaks, make sure none of your tanks are losing water, and fortunately none of that problem there. Just not sure exactly where that came from. Initially I was wondering if it maybe this weird little pipe thing over here, but that pipe is dry as can be. That it must have been just a weird thing. I don't know what that was for, but alas, this house again is about 131 years old now. So I don't know what that might have been to once upon a time, but we'll move the clutter out of the way here. Fortunately, our tank, only 4 feet long here. We got about 5.5 feet overall here to play with, so we'll be well away from that here. Which of course now leaves the question, what are we going to do with the 50 corner here? And to be fully truthful here,
I don't know.
Honestly, what may end up happening is instead of the 55 and the 38 here getting brought down and such, it may end up being the 50 corner here that gets to be the odd tank out, stored away until we get a bigger fish room. As you all know, we got a couple other tanks sitting up in a shed outside there. It's actually right, not too far away from this wall over there, actually. Might just end up getting stored away in there temporarily until we get a bigger house. which my wife and I hope to do here in the next few years, is you know, build a new house right about where we are now here, but that's a different discussion here. The 50 corner, otherwise, in the meantime, might temporarily go along this wall, probably somewhere more over there like where the 75 currently are, because once we get the 50 corner moved, as well as the 55, and since our 38 is already moved, not only is the 185 going to go over here in the median of the fish room, but so will our other double-decker stand of our 275s here as well. And then in the end, that's going to open up this whole wall to different possibilities. What are those specific possibilities? Well, I have been thinking it'd be kind of cool to even up the game on the largest tank here yet. Of course, our biggest one here currently is the 510-gallon plywood tank, and look at Mac over here. I mean, I swear, I feel like we do this almost every video now, but this dude just keeps getting bigger and bigger. He's, man, he's got to be right around that foot-long mark. He is, he's still got a little ways to go here, but he is not a baby anymore. He is getting to be quite the big fish. But as cool as a 510 is to have that for the biggest tank, I'm thinking, you know, it'd be cooler to put a tank down here that's maybe pushing more around the 4 digits in gallonage, if you know what I mean. But that's a little ways down the road here, obviously, as we have plenty of other projects to get to, including moving the tanks here, setting up some other ones here, as well as set up another tank for our queen down here. Speaking of the queen, a little momentous occasion here. What if I told you that on the day I record this video, it has now been 4 years since I have officially brought Finley to my fish room. From a little about inch to, if even that, a little wee baby Congo Puffer to now about all 15 and a half inches of her current glory, or at least that was the last time I measured her. About, it's been about I want to say a month and a half ago since I moved her tank here. That was the last time I measured her, and now we got, well, slowly but surely, we're working on our plywood tank here, which, yes, has gained quite a bit of clutter. About to clean all that up here, because we're about to get going on this project here again once we sort all of this out over here. But that, guys, will do it for this little fish room update. As you can see, lots going on down here. I apologize for making it such a long hiatus between videos here. Work at this time of year is probably the busiest that it is all year long, so things should loosen up here. I should start getting videos out at least more frequently than every 4 weeks at least at this point. But guys, if you like this video, go ahead, let me know, give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot, as well as with that YouTube algorithm. Let me know, what's your favorite thing going on down here? Obviously, spotted Congo Puffers back down here in the fish room. Slowly but surely getting going on that 185 bow front here. We'll have some videos coming up on that here very shortly. Of course, we'll have more on the Congo's plywood tank here in the coming weeks, months here, maybe more so. And plenty more going on down here that I hope you choose to follow along to. And the best way to follow along to that, if you're not already, is clicking that subscribe button, as well as the little bell there right next to it, to get notifications every time I upload a video, a short, or even go live here on the channel. It's the best way to let you know of what I'm up to. But as always, guys, thank you for all the support here. Extra thank you to the members and watching this video and all the patience. I know that my uploading is sometimes sporadic, but it means a lot that in spite of that, you guys keep coming back, and I greatly appreciate that. I promise it won't be as long this time before I get the next video out. I will see you all then, Fish Fam. But until then, stay fantastic.